I'm Jeff Pifher, executive producer of the film Somewhere, which is a short film musical. We've got cast from Wicked, Glee, American Idol, and The Voice, and it centers around immigration and dreamers.
So where did the inspiration come from? I love musicals personally, so I'm curious where this came from.
Well, I feel like it's a genre that definitely has a bit of a mass appeal to it. I'm actually a jazz saxophone player as my day job, but I really enjoy the fact that you can get that storytelling element in the musical, you know, with the ability to speak to a cause as well. Yeah.
What film are you guys here promoting this weekend?
Anemoia.
It's a sci-fi romance. She's the lead actress and producer. I wrote, directed it, and it's about nostalgia for a time that you've never known. So it takes place with a girl in the 2060s who really romanticizes our time period in the 2020s and thinks that this was the cool time to be alive. And then she meets someone who feels the opposite and things happen.
It sort of takes place in like a jewelry factory, and it's been nominated for Best Comedic Short. I think it's hilarious, so I'm so glad when other people think it's funny also, and I'm excited to see it with an audience and see the other short films.
Servants, yes, it's basically a mockumentary that follows a group of servers, and basically just to show the ins and outs of what it's like to be in the service industry and the drama that we hold in with each other, because a lot of people when they come into restaurants they always think like, oh, okay, you know, this person's nice, blah blah blah, but what they don't know is maybe that server had got into it with their boyfriend who's right there at the working with them, and they're holding a little grudge with each other, and then the server's come, hi, how are you doing today? You know, so this is basically to just kind of shed light on what it's like for servers in the service industry, and just in a comedic way, because it's hilarious the stuff that we go through.
So my name is Randolph Summiel. This project is about a guy who has a sister who has diabetes, and he's trying to find the best way to provide for it, and 459 is police code for burglary. So he unknowingly gets placed in a situation of burglary while he's trying to provide for his sister who has diabetes and get the medicine.
And what were your roles in No Witnesses?
I was the writer, director, and one of the producers.
Another one of the producers and first AD.
So what was the experience like for you guys writing and directing and producing it?
Well, one of the hardest things was it was 4 nights in November on the East Coast, so it was cold to say the least. Yeah, it's just like, honestly with that shoot, it was basically like Murphy's Law, expect anything, and we got hit with everything, but we made it happen. Our logic was, if we shoot it later in the year, we'd have more time for the night, so we can do the night shoots.
See, that's why you're producers. You think logically. I like it.
There was a method to the madness, but you know, the cold was a little bit too cold for me. Spent too much time in California. I wasn't used to it.
So, Dedi, you wrote and directed Take Good Care.
It's a grounded sci-fi dramedy about a mother and daughter. It's in a world where people over 65 are asked to quietly depart, i.e. to die. And this single-minded scientist mother decides that she wants to stick around. Unfortunately, there's a little hitch in her plan, which is that her long-neglected daughter has to take care of her if she is to continue her pursuit.
It's a cool concept, not something that, it's out of the box.
Yeah, and it was fun because, I wanted to do, so it's personal to me. Like, I ended up having to fly back to the other coast to take care of my own mom. So I've always really wanted to write about that and about the dilemma from both the mom's side of feeling like, there's this ageist society who's like, doesn't want me to, keep going. But then from the daughter's side, who's like, well, my life's being interrupted.
I'm Veronica Reyes-How. I play Ren Rutherford. And in Take Good Care, the idea is that I come into there thinking that I'm helping my mother to, basically move into a facility or get some care, and it turns out that I am now signing up to be in a science experiment.
If you can go back in time and give yourself advice when you were 12 years old, what would that advice be?
Do anything you want. The thing is that, and I'm really glad that I followed this, so not to make this super long, but I was a math major, and then I became a tech consultant, and I just thought, it was so boring, and I thought, what would I want to do if I was going to die in a year? And I went to an open call for rent, and I booked it, and that's how I became an actress. And then, in the pandemic, I started writing, and I just finished, I'm in post right now for a TV series that someone hired me to write. They put $1 million into my TV series. So, everyone always tells you, you can't do this is too hard, don't, people, I was in line for Rent at the open call, and people were like, people from my college were like, what are you doing? You think you can just be an actress? And I felt so bad, I almost left, but then I didn't. And so I just think, whatever you want to do, like you work hard and you just go for it. Like you just put in the effort and you just do it. And it's like so much is possible. And it's awful when people don't tell you that.
Hi, everybody. We're here with Tommy Anderson. So where did the inspiration come from on writing this screenplay?
The inspiration came a few years ago when I was laid up and I wanted to write a thriller. And so I took the time while I was recuperating to write it. I wrote it originally as a novel, which became a bestseller on Amazon. And after that, I was approached by Global Edge Pictures to put it into a screenplay. It was pitched to Lionsgate. And then COVID hit and everything kind of shut down. So now I'm just out there pushing her again.
Well, no time like the present, right? Everything happens for a reason.
That's right. And you never give up. And each time it gets better.
So speaking of never giving up, I have a fun question that I'm asking everybody today. If you could go back and give your 12 or 15-year-old self some advice, what would that advice be?
Don't make the mistakes you made.
That's like the $1 million advice, right?
It is. That's right. Yeah. Don't go out with a blonde.
So blondes are dangerous, I take it.
That one back then was.
At 12, you started young, Tommy. I am here with Jeff, the writer and director of
Some Days. It's a subjective story about paranoia, abuse, someone hitting their last straw. I think I really wanted to tell a story about somebody's paranoia and kind of accentuate it before the screen and exaggerate upon it so that the audience can actually feel the inner workings of this person's mind. Really just trying to create an uncomfortable experience, but also one that, people can learn from. People can, become aware of these kinds of situations that occur. It was a one-day shoot, a really small crew. I was the cinematographer as well. Non-actors I was working with, and my lead, Estelle, shout out Estelle, she had to play a really tough part for this. And I mean, actors either make or break your film, so I think she made it.
It's a short film, and I'm a filmmaker from China, and I'm the general executive producer, but I'm also the post-production director for the film. It's called The Woman in the Darkness. Actually, we finished this film during COVID, so it's very special experience. When I saw this concept, I think it's so unique. The movie, there's no dialogue, so the music and the Foley, all the sound would be the most important thing. Like after 2 years, it's kind of like finally we got a screening.
What are your roles in the Living with a Serial Killer?
My name is Luke Sweeney. I was the actor, writer, producer. I helped direct. I did everything on it. It's really my baby.
My name's Coleman Wilson. I was just a producer on this. Helped him out in every back end part we could. Get into festivals and do everything that we're doing now.
I just want to say, you weren't just the producer. We wouldn't have a film if it weren't for the producers, right?
No, you pull your weight. You're a beast, man. Own it. Smell the roses. Come on now.
Just because you weren't wearing like 17 hats like he was.
Yeah, you're better off not wearing 17 hats. I was stressed for like a year.
Did you have a favorite role within all of those hats that you were wearing?
My first love is acting, but my brother is a writer, so he really honed my skill set with writing. So I had a good time writing it. I'm actually more proud of my writing on it than my acting when all was said and done, but my experience overall was just fantastic. Really small crew. All of us knew each other through certain webs, college, high school, friends of friends. A lot of people stepped up because COVID was still around, so some people got sick. We had to shift things around, so just very fast and furious, but it all went really smoothly.